Hi friends, thanks for joining me. It's Morag here with another process video using the December kits from 2022, and as you can see they are jam-packed with gorgeous embellishments and papers. And this week I'm taking part in the challenge sketch, as you can see there. So I did go a little bit off-piste from the sketch this week. I had a very clear idea in my mind to twist the sketch. I'm going to use 2 photos instead of 1. So I rotated the sketch kind of 90 degrees so that the main part of the sketch where there's the line is horizontal to my right. And I thought to add a bit of interest, I have done this before, but I'm going to create a big, huge tag on my layout. And I love a tag in general, but having a super huge tag just takes it to the next level. So as you can see here, I'm taking my paper and I'm just going to snip off the edges, and hey presto, we now have a tag. So it's not particularly technical or anything. I apologise that my camera seems to have slipped, and once again I'm off the bottom of the page. When I set up my video, it kind of everything looks in frame, and then I think what you see is not what you get. So hopefully you don't miss too much of the action, but it's not quite framed how I'd have liked. So that is my big tag made, and I've used the pink paper. It's so pretty. It's got little tiny flowers and leaves, just absolutely stunning. And to make that pop, I've used the navy blue design on the back there, as you can see. And I think I probably meant to gut the back of that paper that will be hidden and covered up, but I think I forgot. So you definitely, if you were kind of recreating this design, you could definitely do that and save that gorgeous paper. I love like a really dark navy blue paper because it just makes things pop. So I just think navy is the new black girls. And this week I'm going to use the gorgeous dies that came out in December again. I picked out a snowy photo, something for winter, and I'd already die cut these snowflakes out of the cardstock kit. And I think that's a really good time-saving idea. So if you're going on a cardstock, I beg your pardon, if you're going on a die cutting mission, to die cut extra at the time, because I don't know about you, but I have to dig out my machine. I've got a Sizzix, which is kind of heavy, and then you've got the dies, and it's back and forth and cleaning up. And I love dies, so it is a really, really good way to be more efficient, is to cut a huge amount at a time, which is what I did here. And then the next time you want to use it, it is super quick. So to add a little bit of interest, I have now stitched around my super size tag. Just some white stitching. And I do like to rough up the edges of everything just to add that bit of texture. And you'll see that on the close-ups. It's a bit hard to see on my my framing here. Can't remember what order I put the snowflakes in, but I had a selection of the pale blue, a very, very pale blue, a blue and a pink. So just so the things show up a little bit better against the background, I was trying to, spread out those different snowflakes in different colours. Now, if you're not confident with mixed media, for example, adding like the snowflakes I'm doing here would be a really good substitute for mixed media, because I feel like we do mixed media, to really add a bit of colour or a bit of interest to the background, and to really ground our photos and layouts, embellishments. So, excuse me, that's the dog that you can hear padding around. But by adding the die cuts instead, I feel like I've achieved the same thing. So I can add a bit of colour to the background. I'm grounding all my elements, and actually that's the bit that I took away from the sketch. And I just feel like we've done that with, without getting messy and without warping my papers. So that's definitely a positive thing for me. So as I've carried on then, I've pulled out some of those beautiful flowers from the embellishment kit. So there's a pack of die cut flowers in there. Now, I'm just going to see, I've left them around. I was going to see how many flowers there were, but I think there are 50 odd pieces in that die cut pack. And the flowers are just so pretty. They've got beautiful colours, so soft pinks, dark teals, a little bit of mustard as a pop of colour. And as you can see, I've added that to my page, and suddenly my page is just gone to the next level. So absolutely stunning. And the dark green leaves that you can see there, I'd fussy cut from one of the pattern papers. I love a bit of fussy cutting, and those leaves are just so pretty. So I can save some of my die cut leaves, of which there are lots, and that was one of them. But I do love the fussy cut anyway, so that kind of makes me very happy. And that, having noticed the way that adding those really dark leaves has really added a pop to those clusters. So I can highly recommend spending a bit of time and fussy cutting that paper out, although it is, pretty gorgeous on its own. I think I used it in my last layout, and it was the bit I'd gutted out, so in my mind it was a bit of free paper. So aren't these puffy stickers just beautiful? I'm going to be using those for my title, and I'm just going to pop in those embellishments. Can I get that flower in there? I kind of like that big impact. Now this is really where I've gone off piece, I'm saying, because actually until this point everything was on point for the sketch. So I've twisted mine around 90 degrees. I've got a kind of a horizontal border instead of the vertical border in my photos, and then I've got another cluster on the other side, and now I'm adding these big flowers because I've fallen in love with them. So I kind of think it is within the realms of the sketch, but I think it's because it's such a striking focal point, I felt like I'd gone off piste a little bit. But truthfully, in my mind, I've kept on point with that sketch, if anyone's asking. I'm sure you'll all stick up for me, won't you? But I really wanted to use these they're puffy stickers, but with a wood pattern on them, wood grain pattern. Jolly lovely. Yeah, so I definitely needed those on the page. I think it just added another texture. And then because it was different colour, again, I think it just helped to pop. Just taking a couple of the flags off the sticker sheet there to tuck in. Of course, if you haven't got I think that's come from the Pocket Life kit. If you don't have that, then of course you could use some pattern papers. But I love the Pocket Life kit as well, because you do tend to get more journaling pieces in there, which I find really helpful. Love that chipboard. I love the chipboard phrase. I find those little horizontal phrases and words just so easy to use. You can just tuck a few in here and there. So I'm just seeing what else I can pop in. I can see there's a little bit of tape stuck behind my leaves at the top there, so that definitely doesn't stay. It just got stuck, I think. I mean, that is more or less it. I'm going to be putting it on my my title, using those puffy stickers as I mentioned, with the titles in. Here we go. So originally I was going to use the blur because it's pretty cold. In fact, you'd think this photo was from the depths of winter, but it is in October, would you believe? And I think we had a few years we had like dumps of snow here, which we don't get very often. But we had one in October and it was a really good dump of snow. So it was really good fun. But it was definitely not really winter. It shouldn't have been winter in my book. We should be still celebrating pretty leaves. But it's highly unusual. So as I say, we don't normally get snow in where I live in the UK. So I'm going to put the title Winter and as my main title. I think that brr was just a bit of a supporting act. Oh, and I just discovered these stickers, the cardstock stickers. Can't remember which pack it came out of, but they are marvellous. They seem to be laser cut and really fine, so absolutely gorgeous. So I'll leave you with the close-ups, and don't forget you've got a chance to win $25 to spend in the store if you can follow the sketch and upload your layout to the group by the 2nd of February. I really hope I've inspired you to take part and make more out of your December kits. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next one. And if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I would really appreciate that. So thank you again. Bye.